You may be clicking on this video wondering, what are you waffling about? And I completely understand. This is a video that I think I want to talk about really because there is a merit to it. And you may be thinking I'm insane, but just listen, okay. We know LRB's Gohan does release later today, right? And literally, if you take a look here at the schedule, LRB's Gohan releases in under 8 hours. This video is going to be pushed out right away. Under 8 hours he does release, and that's really great. I just love that we're finally getting our Beast Gohan in game. But his release might make this guy gain a lot less viability on his own team. And you may be wondering, what are you talking about, right? The giant form is still stupidly busted, and I agree, it is still stupidly busted. This guy activates his unit super attack. Really good animations, by the way. This animation is great, in my opinion. And if you want a breakdown about what this Beast Gohan is doing in depth, I did do a showcase video on him yesterday as well. But I think that this Gohan still probably makes Piccolo invalidated on the superheroes team, his main team. And I think the big reason that we want to address here is this turn 3 target skill mechanic. So if you guys are unaware what the target skill mechanic does, pretty much listed right here, redirect all enemy attacks to this character. So he's essentially getting this massive defense buff. We already know he's guarding. We already know in slot 1 he has 60% damage reduction, on top of having pretty much close to like 700 to 800k defenses on some turns before he even supers. So he's basically invincible. On the turn I used the target skill, I was able to get him well over 1 million defense. So there's just like zero way that he dies, right? That's just how it is. He just does not lose. He wins, right? We have that, right? And it's like, okay, probably would rather use this than the Orange Piccolo active skill. And another reason why is because the damage that Gohan will be able to do on this turn with the target skill will be more than what the giant form is doing, right? And this is one point I want to make. The giant form is, again, also a turn 3 condition on specifically the superheroes category team. So if we're talking about, again, this guy and superhero specifically, we're likely going to run this guy as a leader now on the superheroes team, because he's just doing what Orange Piccolo's role wanted to do, but better. Because at this point, Orange Piccolo was, again, more or less the slot 1 character of the team in a lot of situations. Now you have other characters that could fit that slot 1 role on the superheroes team, but that's basically what Orange Piccolo's main thing was on this team, to be your slot 1 character. But Beast Gohan does that, and in fact he wants to be in slot 1 so he can build up extra crit chance and attack, right? And he just does more damage than what Orange Piccolo is doing because of that. So this guy is going to be a slot 2 for the most part, right? You can't float him off really because he needs to build up. He only has to guard for 3 turns, not 4 turns, so you cannot float this guy off. And he wants to receive 5 attacks for him to be fully built up, right? You gotta really keep that in mind. He does need to take 5 attacks, and if he doesn't take a lot of those attacks by the end of events with just 20% reduction, he's not going to be at the level that you really need him to be for him to be competitive defensively, right? Like, I mean, take this guy, just sort of hope Trunks, you're floating him off, he's dead at the end, you know. Except when you have either his own giant, like even if you use his own giant form, Trunks' normals probably still do a lot of damage to him with 750k normals or so. And then this right here, you could save this, to be fair, and it's like, that's how really good this is. Like, you could save a lot of build up characters, well, as you know, even with like a character like Orange Piccolo, he doesn't directly save them, he just nullifies the super attack and he nullifies AoEs, which, to be fair, the target skill does not nullify AoEs, but we're getting a lot less of AoEs, right? People may say, you know, oh, you really want the unit super attack, and I think the unit super attack is good, right? You know, it's good, but there's not much that you lose from using the unit super attack. The disable enemy action is nice, but Gohan doesn't need that. Like, he's invincible. He doesn't need to disable an enemy action because he doesn't die anyways. And one thing is, I guess maybe you could like disable, I don't know, if you know where a super attack is in like a specific situation, being able to disable that and then like just especially if it's just something where it's like you get stunned or sealed for multiple turns. Some bosses have done that in the past. Maybe we'll get new bosses that do that. The crit chance for 20% for all allies is nice, but this is also a separate crit chance. It's not like, you know, oh, the gammas could get like, I don't know, I get 3 orbs of the gammas, they have 90% crit, then this will give them 100% crit chance. That's not how it works. It's a separate chance to crit because it is in the super attack effect based on what I'm understanding. So that's the thing, right? You know, and the thing is that, do you get more value from having this guy next to Orange Piccolo and getting the unit super attack? Or do you just get more value by running a character that actually links with LR Beast Gohan on his team, right? You know, it's not even specifically just superheroes. There's a lot of situations where you're going to be also running Masters in Bonds or Miraculous Awakening. I mean, let's take a look at who links well with LR Beast Gohan. Let's see here. Let's see. LR Ultimate Gohan. This guy is a superhero's character. But this guy might have a resurgence himself, and he's not actually going to be terrible with the new Beast Gohan. I think he is actually a lot better because Beast Gohan gives him ki, help fixes his ki issues, helps with his linkage issues. After this Gohan's guard runs out, you could save the target skill, right? And that's another thing, like, even though, like, let's say there's a situation where turn 3, use this guy's target skill. Turn 4, use the friends. Then turn 5, you can't use Gogeta Blue's target skill, so it's like, oh, I have the giant form. Most of the time, you're not going to be using the target skills on turn 3, I feel like. There are situations you can, right? But, in those fights, the fights are likely going to be over, I feel like, by turn 5. I mean, there's a lot of situations where I don't even use Orange Piccolo's giant form until, like, the end of the fight, right? Because it's just not needed, especially in how powerful the superheroes team is. Like, it's not necessary a lot of the times, right, to have to use this giant form. So it's going to be the same for this. Maybe it's a situation where turn 4, use the target skill. Turn 5, use this guy's target skill. Then turn 6, you have Gogeta Blue, and he could use his maybe. If you're floating him around, which, you know, he could very easily be floating you on the team. Compared to, like, Orange Piccolo, who you would have to keep on rotation. And Orange Piccolo also shares 2 links with Beast Gohan. Legendary Power and Fierce Battle. You are, in a sense, still actively gimping the damage Beast Gohan could do. And even defensively, he doesn't even get all in the family with that guy. Whilst, again, like I said, if you're running a character like Ultimate Gohan, that does do way more damage than what Orange Piccolo is able to do. He shares 6 things with the Beast Gohan, right? And Beast Gohan can just protect him from the 5th turn on the superheroes team specifically, right? Or that, like, superhero slash Master and Disciple slash Miraculous Awakening team. Broly is on this guy's team. Broly, and again, like, the thing with Broly is he's stupid good. I think people have been underrating him and undervaluing him. Broly plus Beast Gohan, especially when Broly's transformed, is probably just the best rotation in the game. Like, a lot of people's complaints about Broly is that, oh, he nerfs your super class allies, you know? That it doesn't do anything. If it's a good character, it doesn't do anything. Like, you get 10% more damage taken. Okay, so Beast Gohan goes from 80% damage reduction with the 70% with the, like, he goes from 80% reduction with guard and 800k defense to 70% reduction with guard and 800k defense. It does nothing. It does nothing. Literally zero. Zilch. Just absolutely zero. Gogeta Blue, it's like he will take, like, if he eats, like, his defense gets so high that he doesn't even need to dodge. Like, he could eat super attacks. Him taking 10% more damage is not really gonna do much. A boss that does 500k normals will do 550k normals or so, right? But then at the same time, you're also doing 10% more damage, right? And then it's like, oh no, you need, I'm already 500k defense higher than what I need to tank. I'm gonna take double digits to double digits because it doesn't do anything, right? I'm getting into a whole different situation. I might have to make a video on him specifically, but God, people are so very funny about this guy. But I think once Broly's transformed, it's like they share the 4 links, like Super Saiyan, Rare Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, very good link set that they're sharing. They're actually no shocking speed, prepared battle, face battle, legendary power. So not Super Saiyan. Beast Gohan's not a Super Saiyan character. And Broly is like, he's also just stupid. He's invincible, and then he just gets like 5 super attacks out guaranteed basically every single turn. So what a stupid character. And that's the thing. You're not even limited to superheroes, unlike Orange Piccolo, who probably he's not limited to superheroes for sure, right? You could use him on other teams. He is on other teams, but it's like, and then that's like turn 6 on a lot of these other teams for the giant form. But then again, you have characters like Beast Gohan on Battle Fate. You have characters like Beast Gohan and Gogeta Blue on Movie Heroes. Let's say Power of Revival. Don't you have Gogeta Blue as well? Let me take a look here. Let's see. The song ended on my end. I just wanted to make sure that the song kept going. Isn't Gogeta? Yeah, Gogeta Blues and Power Wishes. So you have what he's doing also on turn 6 with the Orange Piccolo, right? I guess to be fair, it might be turn 7 sometimes. Orange Piccolo still has value here for sure, like 100%. But I don't know, Power Revival, like who are you gonna run for Piccolo's intro? Gohan and Piccolo here would be the best bet, probably. Yeah, you know. And Warriors Raising Earth, you have Gohan still. It was like Transformation Boost / Full Power with Broly's team. You have Beast Gohan, right? And you have Gogeta Blue as well. It's like Orange Piccolo's value in the giant form is being matched up to now, like really, really quickly, because we have Gogeta Blue's target skill, and then we have Beast Gohan's skill as well. To be fair, we always had some characters like the GT Duo that can kind of match up to that as well, right? But it's getting 2 points because where we have Piccolo's link set, which is not the greatest, right? His wanting to be on rotation, and we're now getting characters that are good enough to want to put on rotation over him. So also it gives him with building up, right? Well, as a character, like you're not gonna run Orange Piccolo on rotation with LR Full Power Broly. Beast Gohan, you could run on rotation with LR Full Power Broly in this team, right? Power Wishes is like the team you could use Orange Piccolo on. He links very well with Bulma still. This team is still good for sure, and you know, again, the turn 6 active skill could really, really help this team out. Like you get the revives on like turn 4 and turn 5, and then you have his giant form in turn 6, right? You know, that could work out. But it's like we're at a point where it's like he's kind of kicked off his own team, and again, he's still really extremely busted. I want to point that out. I don't think I really pointed it out, obviously, but this guy's still busted. Like, he's still obviously really good. If you don't have Beast Gohan, I think for sure in the Superheroes team, he's a must run. I mean, a lot of people will say he's still a must run on Superheroes team. Like, if you want the safest team ever, like, you could still just run this guy in Superheroes, and then you're covered on like every single rotation, guaranteed, right? But I just want to say, like, you are just better off running a different Superheroes team with Orange Piccolo, and I think that's so crazy that it literally deserves its own video talking about it. That you just probably want a completely different Superheroes team at this point, and it's like at that point you're not even restricted to just running Superheroes, right? You could dip into some of these categories, because the thing with Piccolo is that if you don't even use him, like if you don't even like build a full Superheroes team, which is not that big of a deal, right? But you could easily just run a team without having full superheroes. Or, I mean, you could easily run a team with full superheroes and still beat any event easily, just because the giant form was too valuable. But now you could dip into other options that aren't on superheroes specifically, and I think that's also a very wonderful thing. Now, excuse me, I did make a thread here talking about it, and again, it basically covered what I said here, where it's like, you know, I'd rather run Satan units to complement him better. OP is amazing, he's kind of replaced on his own team. I already said this, unit super attack isn't that great of effect. Advantage over AoEs, but we have gone so many we've gotten so many fights that are harder than Zamasu that don't do AoEs, right? And it's like, you know, at this point, it's like, you know, the AoE kind of meta thing is not really there anymore, which is, I think, a good thing, in my opinion, right? AoEs I find very annoying, but who knows, maybe we'll get an AoE boss soon. I want to take a look at some of the quotes. Why are we getting that Gohan gets a goddamn attack break on unit super? That doesn't matter. I already said this, but it does not matter the action break. In fact, this guy, sometimes, to get the extra crit and damage reduction, he runs to receive 8 attacks. And then again, if you're like a free to Gohan, by instance, right? It's like you're going to get these 8 attacks faster than the 5 attacks. You know, the action break could like hurt you. Which is actually, again, I think really, really funny. It doesn't matter for him. Why does Gohan need to break an attack that will do 0 damage to him. Unit super attack does not matter, right? You know, that I think that's the thing. People, I saw some comments. People are so focused on like, oh, but you're gonna miss out the unit super attack. It really is not that. It's not a difference between the unit super attack and this one. Maybe if the unit super attack stacked defense, right? Then we're talking, right? But it's like, imagine like that, how stupid that would be. Or if it's like the unit super attack gave the 4-turn defense raise, and you know, instead the normal 18 key just raises attack normally, and then it's like 1-turn defense raise, you know, then it's like, okay, yeah, you really want that unit super attack. That's amazing for him. But the main parts of this are the stats that he gains, and he doesn't need Orange Piccolo on rotation. And then at the same time, you're just gonna do even more damage, and be more successful in the fights with a character that actually links well with this guy, right? And like I said, you can't really float Orange Piccolo because he's not going to build up, and then he's going to get to turn 4 without his guard. And to be fair, you can be like, oh, well, at that point, I have the target skill, and he's protected. But then it's like, what is he going to provide? He's not providing support, really. Like, he's going to be at the end of rotation. He's going to give 2 key at the end of the rotation. Whoopee. You could just run another character instead, right? You know, that's actually going to be supporting. Or maybe actually at least does damage, you know? Does Orange Piccolo without build up. Guess what? He's not doing damage without having any build up, right? Unless you get really lucky and all the attacks are at the end on turn 1. And it's like, oh, yeah, awesome, we're cooking, right? This taken insanely wrong. We need to stop roleplaying that a unit only continues to get buffs is now validated because of said buffs. Orange Piccolo is still better slot 1 because you don't want Gohan to get stunned or sealed, not including the giant form. I mean, because there are bosses that stun and seal you. That is true. But then that's why, like, that's why you just run a unit in slot 2 like Broly. That'll do mainly damage. Because the Gohan, he does good damage, for sure. He does good damage. But his damage is not matching up to Blue Kalkin Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta damage, were they? His damage is not matching up to Broly's damage. In fact, Gogeta Blue probably does more damage as well. Beast Gohan's role isn't to mainly do the damage. He does do damage, but his roles, it's because he's invincible and then he protects the rotation while he's also doing damage. That could be really good, especially if he receives all those attacks. But other characters will out damage him on his own team, and that's just because that's how his build is. And you know, I think as people will use Beast Gohan more and more, I think people are gonna, because people are like, oh, Beast Gohan is the new Gogeta. And while I do think Beast Gohan is definitely by far the best unit in the game, I don't think he's that separated from the rest of the game. And I think, you know, as people use it more, people will see like, oh, Broly does more damage. Gogeta does more damage. Evil Ken does more damage, right? But Beast Gohan's value is still just high and above what any other character is providing, I think, in my opinion. Because he's a dumb character, right? Even the Gammas, like on the like finished skill turn, they do more damage than what Beast Gohan's doing, right? So that's cool, right? Beast Gohan, it doesn't matter if he gets stunned or sealed because the team will be fine. Anyways, and then if you're running Orange Piccolo, it's like you're then putting Gohan in slot 2, and obviously if you're using Gohan's target skill, he's gonna take those attacks anyways, no matter where he is at. But then if you're using Orange Piccolo in slot 1, Gohan's going to be in slot 2, and then he's not going to get any of his attacks before, because what I found is that Gohan really wants to build this up. Like, there's turns where he does 16 mil, and then there's turns where he could do 25 mil, right? Depending on how many attacks, well, actually, it's right here. How many attacks he receives, because this is, like, if you receive, like, 8 attacks, this stacks up 8 times. That's 160% attack, and 160% crit chance, I guess, right? Oh, you really want to keep that in mind when it comes to that. And it's like, you know, if you're running Orange Piccolo, he gets sealed. Okay. Then you get Gohan slot 2, and then he does like a 16 mil attack stat rebuild. Does even like, let me see. He does get the additional super attack guaranteed, right? No, he doesn't even get the guaranteed additional super or the support. It's like, see, why would you run him not in someone? That's just a terrible take, I think, Polarity. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, this is what I'm saying right here. And then if you get OP, you get 3 for turns. Turn 3 for 5 to go on target. Turn 3 for 5 go on Piccolo's giant form. Turn 6, 7, 8 Gogeta's target. Every unit you move will be protected. And it's like the thing I said is like you don't use Beast Gohan's target every time you get first access to it. And it's like certain situations you may want to use it in every single time, but a lot of times you don't have to, right? You will get more damage than Orange Piccolo. Gohan does not do damage if he's in slot 1. He does mediocre damage if he's not in slot 1. He does 16, again, 16 mil attack stat. No additional super attack with like, what, 60% crit chance. That's not good damage anymore. So why not run Beast Gohan in slot 1 and then run a character that actually does damage in slot 2 that is actually linked up with him? What does this take? This take does not make sense. You're doing no damage if you're getting Orange Piccolo sealed and then you have Beast Gohan in slot 2. Not only are you just taking more damage, you're just straight up taking more damage. Orange Piccolo is not invincible anymore. Like, let's say we're in the Trunks fight. We're in the second phase of the Trunks fight. Orange Piccolo is taking damage from that Trunks fight at that point. If his guard is not up. Let's assume that his guard's not up. Orange Piccolo is taking damage. And then Beast Gohan slot 2. He's not gonna receive any attacks to get the crit attack or the additional super. And then if you use the target skill, it doesn't even matter, right? Now, you could say on the specific one turn that you use Orange Piccolo's giant form, it still doesn't even apply actually, because then you can't even get you can't even get sealed. Like, is this? I'm still saying Orange Piccolo is top 5 in the game level. It's just that on his own team, he's getting kicked off. And that's, I think, the truth. I actually really think that's true, right? Piccolo still gives ki, but it's like, you have him in slot 2 and the ki is only applicable to your slot 3 unit, which will be, I don't know, the Gammas, Gohan and Krillin. Krillin and 18. Or even like Broly, like the ki doesn't even matter, right? You know, and it's like you're not going to be able to run Broly in that team if you have Piccolo on rotation. If you're in any bind, Orange form helps you. Okay, Gohan gets good power by having Piccolo around. Not really, he doesn't need it, right? Strongest tech unit on superheroes. I mean, that's probably true. That's true, right? I would say that Piccolo is the best tech unit on superheroes, like easily, right? Like what other character are you gonna say is better than him? No one else here is better than him, right? But it's like, I guess there's the Ajo Broly boss, which is very tough, right? You can run them both, but it's like you don't need to. The point is that he's invalidated, not that he's unrunnable. Like, I think people are taking this where it's like, you know, I'm saying, oh, he's unrunnable, he's garbage. He's still very good. I even say in the post, he's still amazing, but he's just kind of replaced on the best version of his own team. I don't know. I just want to have this discussion because I thought that was interesting. It's an interesting thing to throw out there as thought. But let me know what you guys are thinking. Maybe you guys think I'm insane too. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.